Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Last night, I got to see Iron Maiden play at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California on the 2022 leg of the What Legacy of the Beast World Tour, and it was a fantastic show. And so here we are. We're just going to review the show, go over the set list, get some of my thoughts on the sort of the flow of everything, because this is a special tour. Judging on the timeline for Iron Maiden's releases, so we had the first leg of the tour in 2018 and 2019. I saw them in 2019, and then they were supposed to play these shows in Europe for 2020 for the second leg of the tour, and then they didn't because of COVID, and so everything got pushed back. But in between that time, they did release a new album. They released Senjutsu, which you can read or look at my review of the album right here. But they had to push their entire timeline back, so they had to redo these shows for the Legacy of the Beast World Tour, because people paid money to see them. They wanted everyone to see this show because it was a special show for that first leg. For the second leg, they changed it up and they added some new songs. They changed around the set list. I did a video on that as well. But you'll get to hear my thoughts now on after seeing it, what I think of the show, and if it's where it lies among my favorite Iron Maiden concerts I've ever been to. So starting off the set list, we had the three Senjutsu songs. We had Senjutsu, Stratego, and The Writing on the Wall. I will say that for Senjutsu, starting off the album, it works really, really well. Starting off the concert, it works a little less well, especially with people that might not know the song, or just for this whole tour. And I say that because it's not a very speedy song. It's very heavy and everything like that. So starting off the album with it and starting it off with the title track is really cool, and it really just sets the tone for the rest of that album. But for a concert that is supposed to be sort of a greatest hits concert or a celebration of Iron Maiden's legacy, it doesn't work as well. It's not as speedy. The crowd wasn't really into it very much, and so they were just kind of, it's Iron Maiden playing, so everybody's really happy to see them and everything like that. But they brought out the Samurai Eddie, which was cool. That popped the crowd, but it was just sort of a misfire for an opening track of this concert. And that's only for the concert. For the actual song itself, I love the song Senjutsu. You can hear more about it in my review. But starting off the concert with this one, not so great. Stratego, on the other hand, Stratego, I think, should have started off the concert with just the speed, and it's just a very speedy song. It's, it's like that classic sort of Iron Maiden single that you have where it's, 3.5 to 4.5 minutes long, and it just, kicks your ass the entire way. And so this song really got the crowd going. It got the crowd alive. Stratego is great. It's heavy. It's fast. It feels like a song off of Peace of Mind or Power Slave or whatever. So I'm sure other fans besides me loved hearing it. But then we got to the song that I was looking the most forward to hearing about and hearing them play live, which was The Writing on the Wall. And this was the first song that they showed off of from Senjutsu, and it was the music video. They had the Belshazzar's Feast stuff, and I was looking forward to see how this song would translate live, and fans seemed to love it. It seemed like they were very into the song. They were into the chorus. They were singing the chorus and everything like that. People around me were pretty excited. So The Writing on the Wall, very big success. I think that this one's going to work really well live for anyone else that sees it or when they do a future Senjutsu tour. So for these first three songs, they had to start off with the whole, the Japanese theme to it. They had the Japanese architecture and all of that. And so in between The Writing on the Wall and the next song, Revelations, they had to change the stage, basically. They had to take down all of the Japanese stuff and put up the sort of church set from the first Legacy of the Beast World Tour. This probably was the only really, really big misfire on their part for this tour. It was about, the roadies were doing everything they could. They couldn't move any faster to get all this stuff off the stage. But there was just nothing there. It was just dead air. So they were playing sounds of, pillars rising and everything, shifting landscapes and stuff like that. But it felt like there was something missing. It felt like there was just dead air. And so people were just kind of standing around what do we do? I don't know. They're not doing anything. And so this part was the only real misfire, I think, on the whole overall tour, because it really just, people were just waiting around. And so in between then and The Writing on the Wall and this, picking Revelations for this slot, Revelations is a great song. I love it, but it just feels like they should have put something here, like putting the Trooper here, or putting something speedier here to go into the new songs, into the old, basically, part of the set list, would have been a better choice on their part, because Revelations is great, but it's slower, and it's sort of a, sing-songy, hey-oh kind of song where you have the slow section in the middle. It's very heavy, but, like, it felt like there could have been something else here. Maybe Flight of Icarus, I don't know. Flight of Icarus feels more like a treat down in the bottom of the set list, and you have to get Bruce with the flamethrower and everything. So I don't know what song they would have picked to put here, but when you look at the rest of the set list and when we get down to it, the Trooper being where it is makes more sense than it does here, but Revelations could have been later in the set, and something else could have been included here. After Revelations, they had Blood Brothers, which is a great song. I love hearing this one live. It always has Bruce's speech at the beginning where he talks about how we're all blood brothers. He was accosting some idiot in the front row that was smoking and blowing the smoke on stage and upsetting Steve Harris and Bruce. So said basically everybody in the crowd but this one asshole was blood brothers. And it was great to see Bruce sort of go off on a guy like that. But Blood Brothers, I love this song. It's off Brave New World. It has Janick's great solo in it. It has just a chorus that everybody can sing. Once again, this feels like a weird spot for it to go after, like, ballad, basically, into another ballad. But Blood Brothers is fantastic to hear live. I'm really glad that they included it here on the set. Maybe including the Wicker Man as well in somewhere in the set list would have been a better spot to sort of get into the Legacy of the Beast. It would have been really cool to see, in between the Writing on the Wall and Revelations, to hear the Wicker Man or something like that. But Blood Brothers, a great consolation prize here on the set list. Next up, we had some more theatrics from Iron Maiden. We had Sign of the Cross coming in at the 6th track that they played, and Bruce came out with the cross and the whole robe and everything on. It was a very cool scene to see, and if you haven't seen it, you got to go see it live, because Sign of the Cross, it being a Blaze Bayley song, I'm sure there's people out there, oh, why is Blaze Bayley on the set list? It's the Legacy of the Beast. Well, sorry, they included 2 Blaze Bayley songs, so if you don't like him, suck it. I don't know. But Blaze Bayley getting 2 songs here from his tenure in Iron Maiden. Sign of the Cross is one of the best Iron Maiden songs of all time. And just through the whole thing, it's 10 minutes and it doesn't feel like it, especially live. Live, it's just such a huge production on stage, and the guitarists are running around shredding solos. Dave Murray's solo in this song is still one of the fastest and the best in Iron Maiden's history. So Sign of the Cross is awesome. Lovely song. It's once again weird to see them do Revelations, Blood Brothers, Sign of the Cross all back to back, but that's what they did. And so we got that, and it works well, but it feels like in between here there could have been some other changes to the set list. But Sign of the Cross, always awesome to hear live. Number 7, we had Flight of Icarus, which of course they hadn't played since like 1984 or something like that, before the Legacy of the Beast tour, and they did play it this time. Bruce Dickinson did have the flamethrowers. You can see a little video of the flamethrowers right here. But he had them, he was blasting everybody, or blasting, into the crowd and everything with fire. It was amazing to see. It's always amazing to see them put out this big, gigantic sort of Icarus blow-up inflatable thing, and then have Bruce with the flamethrowers. It's a short song. It's a deep cut off of Peace of Mind, which is really cool. It's especially cool to hear it played in the U.S. because outside of The Number of the Beast, Flight of Icarus was like the U.S. single for the band. Like, Flight of Icarus is one of the reasons why Iron Maiden is so popular in the United States, because of this song. It was a single off of Peace of Mind, and it's great to hear live here. It's better to hear than some of the shorter songs that they could have put here, like Wrathchild. But that's an opinion for another video. That I think Wrathchild's just a little bit of a waste of a song whenever they play it live, but especially with Bruce. But Flight of Icarus, great song to hear live. Got to see the flamethrowers. After Flight of Icarus, they sort of changed up what they usually do, and normally it's Fear of the Dark leads into the encore, or Fear leads into Iron Maiden, which leads into the encore. But Fear of the Dark got played number 8 here, and of course, every time you think that you're going to get tired of them playing Fear of the Dark, oh, why do they keep playing it every time? You hear the crowd sort of chanting along with the song, and you see Bruce come out with that lantern and dressed up, and the stage is dark. This song is always a production, and it was just as legendary this time as it was any other time. Anytime I think that and I go, oh, maybe they shouldn't play Fear of the Dark, it's kind of getting worn out. Nope. Sorry. Still just as awesome. So, Fear of the Dark, great. This one really got the crowd going. Usually it's either like the Trooper or Fear of the Dark that gets like the people in the mosh pit trying to mosh at an Iron Maiden show going, but Fear of the Dark was it this time. Number 9, we had Hallowed Be Thy Name, and its return to the set list after getting booted out of the Book of Souls tour for a little while. It's back again here. It used to be in the encore, and now it's in the main set, but Hallowed Be Thy Name, also once again, just really, really awesome to hear live. It's Iron Maiden's best song ever, so you're getting to hear it live, and you're getting to see Bruce singing out of a cage and everything. So really just awesome song to hear them play live, and Hallowed Be Thy Name is wonderful. After that, we got to hear The Number of the Beast. And The Number of the Beast, once again, great song to hear live. This concert, for people who had never seen Iron Maiden before, I think this might be the best show for somebody who has never seen Iron Maiden, who has wanted to see Iron Maiden, to go to, because you're getting all of the classic songs. And I know for the people out there that complain a lot and want them to play deep cuts, want them to play Alexander the Great, want them to play whatever else. Sorry, for every person who's at an Iron Maiden show who has seen them like 10 times or more, there's going to be 25 people who have never seen Iron Maiden before and want to see Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Fear of the Dark, Iron Maiden, The Trooper. So you can want to hear them play everything live, and basically, like, what are you going to do? You're going to not go see Iron Maiden when they come to your town? No, you're going to see Iron Maiden. So it's fun to complain about, but it's never going to happen. And they did it once where they dropped some of those famous songs, and what happened? People complained. So go figure. But Number of the Beast, always great to hear live. The crowd goes absolutely insane for it. You get to hear Bruce's scream. They had flamethrowers or fire on stage and everything. Wonderful, wonderful show. Always great to hear them play Number of the Beast. To close out the main set, we had, of course, Iron Maiden. What else closes out the main set for Iron Maiden concerts but Iron Maiden off of the Iron Maiden album by Iron Maiden? And so here we had the gigantic sort of Eddie, devil, demon thing coming up from the back of the stage. Great visual, great effects going on. And of course, Iron Maiden, hearing them play this song live is always great. Seeing, at the end, Bruce interacting with the crowd and saying Iron Maiden's going to get all of you, going to get you, and going to each side of the arena and everything. Great, great song. Great, great performance of the song. This was an interesting one because it just basically they went backstage, and then the backdrop changed from the Iron Maiden backdrop, the Iron Maiden song backdrop, to the Trooper Eddie. As soon as people saw that, people freaked out, and then they kicked into it. It was great. The Trooper is obviously one of the best heavy metal songs of all time. It's one of the best live metal songs because people are just going absolutely crazy for it. And this one was no different, and Bruce got the uniform. The Trooper Eddie came out, and Bruce shot him with an American flag, which was cool. But it's the Trooper. Like, what more you want me to say? It's just awesome. It's awesome to hear. People were going crazy in the pit. For number 13, we had The Kingsmen, which was another song that I thought might be leaving the set list, this or Sign of the Cross. I didn't think they were going to keep both Blaze Bayley songs, but they did. And The Kingsmen in this encore slot is pretty interesting because normally when you see Iron Maiden, they do their encores. It's like Speedy song to start off the encore, long song, and then the sort of closer, which is usually Running Free or Sanctuary or whatever. This time around, it was The Kingsmen, and this song is truly awesome live. It's the best Blaze Bayley era song, and I don't think that's a debate for anyone. Even people that hate Blaze Bayley can admit this song is fantastic. And The Kingsmen, just once again, it's all about William Wallace and Scotland's independence, which is funny seeing it played back to back with the Trooper, because it's like, hey, who the villain in this story again? But The Kingsmen, one of the great songs from Iron Maiden, one of the greatest sort of live songs with people screaming along freedom with it, and so can't get much better than this. To close out the first encore, we have number 14 with Run to the Hills, and this closed out the first show, or the first leg of the Legacy of the Beast tour, which was a pretty fine encore, I guess. A Run to the Hills, it's fitting to close out a show because, go run to the hills, get the hell out of here. But here, the backdrop changed again, and it was like the classic Eddie versus the Samurai Eddie on the fighting over it with some details in the background. But this was a great one to close out the tour, or close out the first encore. It was a great one to close out the tour previously. And Run to the Hills has been used as a show closer before, so it's awesome to see it back, and it's awesome to see it in the set list. And for the people that have never seen Iron Maiden before, you got to see a bunch of classic songs on this tour. So Run to the Hills, great one. Luckily for us, they have a second encore on the show, and we got to see the Aces High, and we got to hear the Winston Churchill speech, which is always just goosebumps, chills inducing to hear. And then it kicks into the opening notes of Aces High with the Spitfire coming down. And when I say it's a treat to see that Spitfire come down once again, it is amazing to see. And Aces High as a show closer is an interesting one because normally it opens the set or it opens the encore. So it's there to get people, you know, going for the whole show. It's a very speedy song. It's a very up-tempo, energetic song. This time around, they played it a little slower. It's a little slower tempo. It's still fast, but it's not as fast as if they were playing it like last leg of the tour or whatever. But here, it really works, I think. I think this really works as a show closer. It's awesome. It gets just like one final last gasp of energy from the band. Bruce sounds great singing it. I know some people at the first show of this tour were saying, yeah, he sounds kind of tired at the end of it. Well, maybe that was just because it was the first show of the tour. But here around, he was very energetic still, very hitting all those high notes. It's a very difficult song to sing, and it's amazing that they're closing out almost nearly an hour and 40 minutes of heavy metal with this track, but it works really well. And then obviously the band comes out and does their bows and throws all the cool stuff out into the crowd. But as a review for this show, it's not my favorite Iron Maiden show I've ever been to. It's not, there obviously isn't going to be a worst Iron Maiden show that you've been to, but this one was the first time where I was like, oh, that kind of didn't work for a set list, at least. And so all the songs were great. The musicianship was fantastic. You know, Janick's going around going crazy, stirring up the crowd. Adrian and Dave Murray are playing like friggin' surgeons out there. Nicko is slamming the drums. Bruce Dickinson's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, blasting high notes and being the air raid siren. But it just felt like some of the choices for this set list in particular did not work as well. It's disappointing that it's the Legacy of the Beast tour and there's not more represented from other eras of Iron Maiden. So there's no songs off of Seventh Son or Somewhere in Time or No Prayer for the Dying or the new era, basically. There's only one song from Brave New World. There's no songs from Dance of Death or anything like that. The 3 Senjutsu songs were a necessary part of this because they obviously wanted to get people playing those songs live, but they didn't want to just scrap the Legacy of the Beast 2021 or 2022 leg of the tour. And so it makes sense from that standpoint, but some of the songs that they included, or at least the portions of this tour, of the set that they included, were a little troubling or questionable. But outside of that, it's an Iron Maiden concert. Like, what am I going to complain about? I got to see Iron Maiden. So it's not my favorite. My favorite Iron Maiden concert I've ever been to is still the Maiden England tour in 2013, where they played a lot of the stuff off of Seventh Son. They played Moonchild and stuff like that. But this tour, this concert, the Legacy of the Beast tour, is still fantastic. If you have the chance to go see them on this tour, go do it. The stage show is excellent. The musicianship is excellent. And if you haven't seen Iron Maiden before, you're getting to see them play their most famous songs. You're getting to see them play all the songs you would want to hear as a new fan to Iron Maiden. And for old fans, you're going to go see them anyway. So who cares if they're playing Number of the Beast for the 45th time that you're seeing them? It's going to be awesome every time. So that'll do it for this video, this review of the Legacy of the Beast 2022 World Tour that I saw them in Anaheim. They are playing again tonight here in Anaheim, so if you're seeing this video tonight, go see it. Go see them on the rest of the tour, and let's hope that we get a Senjutsu World Tour where they do, in fact, play the whole album in its entirety, or where they might sneak in some deep cuts, who knows. We'll have to see when we get to that point, but for more Iron Maiden reviews, more heavy metal stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and I'll see you again, and up the irons. Iron Maiden will always be there for you and I, so thanks for watching.